and welcome to Studio 22. I'm Katie Connor, and today we are here talking to Heather Lunsford, who's the chair of the Student Art Gallery over in the art department at Oklahoma City University. So Heather, how long have you actually had this position, and what else do you do for the university here?
I've been here for 2.5 years, and I'm the chair of the department, but I also am the director of the gallery, which means I curate some shows and I'm the director of some shows over there.
Okay, and there were some other things that you kind of did. You've curated for some other areas in the city.
I have. I have previously been, since I moved here, I was the director of the statewide program for public art. And I independently curate for businessmen, and I help people when they want to buy art at times, and I help curate independent collections.
So for a lot of people, we hear this word curate a lot, but especially for people that are not in the art kind of career field or anything like that. So what exactly does a curator do?
Well, I wouldn't say that it applies to coffee or playlists. I think as we commonly hear that word, and I think us in the arts cringe when we hear that because we find it kind of like a little offensive. Not offensive, but just like, oh, because that's not really what curation is. I always say to my students that curation is the thoughtful collection of things. And so, for example, for the group that I'm currently helping, and that I've helped in the past, they tell me what they're looking for. The one right now, they wanted all Oklahoma artists, and they wanted a good collection of Native artists, as in Native American, Black artists, women, younger, older, emerging, established. So we went out, we took our budget, we went out, we spoke to artists, and we put together a proposal that was going to be fitting their needs. And we also wanted the body of work that we picked to be diverse. So we wanted to have sculpture, painting, glass, printmaking, so works on paper. We wanted to have ceramics, photography. So when you're curating work like that, you talk to your collector or you look at the show, and you try to fit the needs. For example, the next show I'm personally curating is a show on gun violence. And it's about a local woman whose sister was a librarian out in Sacramento, California, who was murdered in the parking lot. And it's a show about her this woman's social media feed, almost as like, I would say, a letter to her sister and her grief. And it'll be a very quiet show where people walk around and read how she lived that year and her grief and her thoughts on guns and violence and how they impacted her family.
Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic, and we will have more to follow after this break. And again, I'm Katie Connor, and thank you for joining us with Studio 22.
The shot goes up. Devasane comes out of nowhere, and another block for OCU. This guy's on fire. This kid owns OCU's record in blocks, not only on the court, but off the court as well. Earlier today, he was busy crashing the boards. Just a rebounding machine. Even cleaning up the glass, giving a whole new meaning to garbage time. Devasane, MVP on the court, and keeping Oklahoma beautiful off the court.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
welcome back to Studio 22. Again, I'm Katie Connor, and we're here with Heather Lunsford. She's the chair of the Student Gallery here at Oklahoma City University. And Heather, earlier before the break, we were talking about a show that you're currently working on. What kind of is your favorite part of putting a show together?
I really enjoy personally the bigger concepts and coming up with the ideas. Whenever I look at our show year, we have about 5 to 7 shows a year. We always have our student capstone in the gallery, which is around May, around graduation time. But then we also try to have a really diverse show year so that students get to see a lot of different kinds of works. And we have a lot of people from off campus that come and see our gallery. So we try to show not just, painting and sculpture, but we also want to show conceptual art that shows, talks about social justice, art that talks about social issues, issues of race, and things that are contemporary. Right now, we have a partnership in our hall galleries that are areas.
Well, unfortunately,
of
we're going to
inclusion.
have to end it there. But I do appreciate it, Heather, for coming out and hanging out with us today and getting to learn a little more about art. Again, this is Studio 22, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.